Um, okay, okay. Virgo, stop what you're doing right now because there is something coming through for you that I was not expecting when I sat down to do this reading. Something that made me pause, made me actually stop and just sit with it for a second because what I'm feeling around your energy right now is not subtle. It is not quiet. It is loud and it is specific and it is all about how you are being perceived right now by someone who cannot get you out of their head. And I mean that literally. Cannot get you out. We're going to talk about that today. All of it. Because you deserve to know what's happening on the other side of the silence. You deserve to know what's being thought about you when you're not in the room, when you're not watching, when you're just living your life completely unaware. Stay with me because this one is going to hit. The first thing that's standing out to me, and I want to be really careful about how I say this because I don't want it to just wash over you, is how attractive you are. And I'm not talking about surface level. I'm not talking about what you look like when you walk into a room, although that's there too. I'm talking about something deeper than that. Something that this person feels every single time they think about you. There's a quality to you, Virgo, that is, how do I explain this? It's like you have this way of being present that most people just don't have. When you're focused on someone, when you're actually in a conversation with them, when you're listening, they feel it. They feel chosen. They feel like the most important person in the room, and that is rare. That is so, so rare. And this person knows it. They know it because they've been around other people since you. They've tried to find that feeling somewhere else, and they can't because it doesn't exist somewhere else. It exists with you, only with you. Does that resonate? Because I feel this so strongly right now. Like this person has tried, they've genuinely tried to move on, to redirect their attention, to tell themselves that what they felt with you was normal, that it was replaceable. And every single time they come back to the same conclusion. It's not, you're not replaceable, not even close. Okay, so let me go deeper here because there's something underneath this that I need to address. Because this isn't just about attraction. No, no, no. This is about obsession. And I want to be clear about what I mean when I say that word. I don't mean obsession in a scary way. I mean obsession in the way that happens when someone has experienced something so genuinely good, so genuinely real, that their mind keeps returning to it automatically, without permission, without invitation. This person thinks about you throughout the day, not once, not twice, multiple times, in the in-between moments, when they're driving, when they wake up, when something happens that's funny or interesting or difficult, their first instinct is to want to tell you. And then they remember. And that remembering, that moment where they reach for you and you're not there to reach, that hits them every single time. Every single time. Like a small loss they experience on repeat. Have you been feeling any of this? Like a pull? A sense that someone's thinking about you without being able to explain why? Let me know in the comments. Because what I'm picking up is this energy is so strong that it's crossing the distance between you, it's reaching you. even now, even if you've been trying not to think about them. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because I'm not just seeing someone who misses you, I'm seeing someone who is actively searching. And when I say searching, I mean they're looking for traces of you, your social media, mutual friends, places they might run into you. They're, okay, give me a second here because this is very specific. They're doing the thing where you check someone's profile and immediately close it because you don't want to accidentally like something from 3 years ago. You know that thing? Yeah. They're doing that with you regularly, and it's not just online. There's something about physical spaces too. Places that remind them of you, places you used to go, places they imagine you might be now. There's this pull toward the idea of proximity. Like if they could just be near you, not even talk to you necessarily, just see that you're real, that you exist, that the connection they remember wasn't something they imagined. That's interesting, isn't it? Because it tells you something about where their head is. They're not just passively missing you. They're actively trying to maintain some kind of thread, some kind of invisible connection to you, even from a distance, even when they know they probably shouldn't. Tell me if that resonates, because I feel this so clearly right now. But here's the layer underneath that, and this is the part I really want you to sit with, because this changes the entire picture. This person, they're not just looking for you in the way someone looks for something they lost. No, they're looking for you in the way someone looks for something they need, something essential. And there's a difference, a huge difference, because loss is about the past. Need is about the present. Need is about right now. And what I'm feeling from this person is very present tense, very urgent, like something in them has shifted recently, like something cracked open, and now they can't pretend anymore. Can't pretend that they're fine. Can't pretend that things are okay. Can't pretend that what they feel for you is something they've moved past, because they haven't. And recent events have made that impossible to ignore. Something happened. I don't know exactly what, but something happened recently that reminded them of you so specifically, so directly, that whatever wall they had built just crumbled. And now they're standing in the rubble of that wall going, okay, okay, I have to do something about this. I can't keep living like this. Does that make sense? Because I feel this so specifically, this isn't someone casually thinking about reaching out. This is someone who has reached a breaking point. Now let me talk about something that I don't think you fully understand about yourself, Virgo. And this is important. This is really important because it explains why this person feels the way they feel. You have no idea how attractive you actually are. And I'm not saying that as a compliment to make you feel good. I'm saying it because it's literally what's coming through right now. There is a gap, a significant gap between how you see yourself and how others experience you. And that gap is actually kind of shocking when I look at it. Because you walk around thinking you're ordinary, thinking you're just you, nothing special, probably focusing on your flaws, probably hyper aware of the things you feel are wrong with you. And meanwhile, People are watching you. People are drawn to you. People are feeling things in your presence that they don't fully understand, and they don't say it. They don't always say it, but they feel it very, very clearly. Have you ever been in a room and felt like someone was watching you even before you could prove it? Yeah, that's not your imagination. That's real. Because there is something about your energy that draws the eye, draws the attention, even when you're not trying, especially when you're not trying. Because when you're relaxed, when you're just being yourself, something comes through, something magnetic, something that people want to be near, something this person thinks about constantly. Um, okay, let me go into the home energy because I'm feeling something around that specifically. And this is interesting, really interesting. This person, they think about what it would be like to share a space with you, not in an abstract way, in a very concrete, very specific way. They think about mornings, what morning would feel like with you. They think about evenings, what coming home would feel like if coming home meant coming home to you. They think about the small things, the quiet things, the kind of life that gets built in the in-between moments of a shared existence. And this tells me something important about what this person actually wants, because they're not thinking about something temporary. They're not thinking about something casual. They're thinking about a life with you, an actual life built together. And that fantasy has become so real in their mind, so detailed, that living without it feels increasingly unbearable. Like they've seen a version of their life that they want, and it has you in it. And every day that passes without moving toward that feels like a day wasted. Does that hit? Drop a comment if you're feeling this, because I feel this energy so strongly right now and I want to know if it's landing for you. But here's the thing. Here's the complicated part, because it's not simple. If it were simple, they would have acted already, right? There's something holding them back. And I want to talk about that, because understanding what's holding them back, I think it's going to give you clarity, real clarity. What I'm feeling is fear, but not the kind of fear you might think. It's not fear of you. It's not fear of rejection exactly. It's fear of how powerful this feels. Because when something feels this big, when something feels this real, the potential for loss becomes terrifying. You know, it's easier to want something from a distance than to reach for it and risk it not working out. And this person has been living in that in-between space. That space between wanting and acting, between feeling everything and doing something about it. And it's exhausting them. It's genuinely exhausting them. Because holding this much feeling, carrying this much, without being able to put it somewhere, without being able to give it to the person it belongs to, is heavy. Heavy in a way that's hard to explain to someone who hasn't felt it. But I think you might understand. Actually, I think you understand better than most. Have you been feeling the weight of something unresolved lately? Something that sits in the background of your days even when you're not actively thinking about it? Yeah, that's not random. Okay, so stay with me, because this is where it gets really interesting. This is the layer I wasn't expecting when I started this reading. There's something about a phone, about a message, about contact that's being considered, very seriously considered. And I want to talk about that because I feel it very specifically. This person has, okay, give me a second here. This person has drafted something, a message, maybe more than once, maybe multiple times, and deleted it. Not because they didn't mean it, but because they didn't know how to say what they actually mean. Because what they actually mean is a lot. What they actually mean is more than a text message can hold, more than a casual reaching out can carry. And they know that if they open this door, they're going to have to be honest, really honest, maybe more honest than they've ever allowed themselves to be with you. And that terrifies them and excites them both at the same time, which is its own kind of overwhelming, that feeling? When something is both the thing you want most and the thing you're most afraid of, yeah, that's exactly where they are right now. Standing at the edge of something, looking at their phone, thinking about you, trying to find the courage. And I genuinely feel that the courage is coming, that the tipping point is close, very close. Something is about to shift. Now, let me talk about you for a second. Just you. Because this reading isn't only about them, it's about what's happening inside of you too. And what I'm noticing is that you've been doing this thing, this very Virgo thing, where you've been talking yourself out of what you feel, where you've been logicking yourself away from your own emotions, telling yourself it doesn't matter, telling yourself you shouldn't care, telling yourself that caring this much about someone means something is wrong with you. And none of that is true. None of it. Because caring deeply is not a weakness. Feeling things fully is not a flaw. The fact that this connection still lives somewhere in you, the fact that you're watching a reading like this right now, that means something. That means you haven't closed the door. Not all the way. And maybe that's exactly right. Maybe that door is supposed to stay open for just a little longer. Because what's coming, what I feel coming toward you, is going to need that opening to get through. So don't close it. Not yet. Let me know in the comments if you've been trying to talk yourself out of feeling something, because I see that energy so clearly right now. And I want you to know it's okay to feel it. It's okay to want what you want. Okay, here's the deeper layer. And this is the part that I think is going to hit the hardest. This person, they don't just find you attractive. They don't just think about you constantly. They respect you deeply. And I want to explain what I mean by that because it's specific. They respect the way you handle things, the way you show up, the way you don't crumble under pressure even when you're struggling, the way you maintain your standards even when it would be easier not to. They've watched you, maybe from a distance, maybe through mutual connections, maybe through what you put out into the world, and what they see is someone who is genuinely, authentically themselves, without apology, without performance, and in a world where most people are performing constantly, that is extraordinary. That is the thing that sets you apart. Not your looks, not what you have, not what you can offer in the practical sense. The fact that you are real, genuinely, undeniably real, and this person is drawn to that reality like it's the only thing that makes sense in a world full of things that don't. Does that resonate? Tell me in the comments, because this is coming through so strongly. And now here's what I want to say to you directly. Virgo, look, I need you to hear this. You have been underestimating yourself for a long time, and I understand why. Because Virgo energy is critical by nature. You see your flaws in high definition. You see your shortcomings clearly. You are your own harshest critic. But what you don't see, what you genuinely cannot see, because it's almost impossible to see yourself the way others see you, is how magnetic you are, how deeply, genuinely magnetic. People want to be around you. People feel better in your presence. People carry the memory of you long after the interaction ends. That is not nothing. That is everything. And this person who cannot stop thinking about you, who is searching for you, who is standing at the edge of reaching out, they know it. They know exactly what you are. Even if you don't yet, even if you're still in the process of figuring it out, they already know. And that knowing, that is what makes this so powerful. That is what makes what's coming so significant. Because when someone sees you clearly, really clearly, and still wants you the way this person wants you, that is not something to take lightly. That is something to receive fully, without talking yourself out of it, without finding reasons it can't be real. There's one more thing I want to say before I leave this energy, and this is important, really important. What's coming toward you? The contact, the reaching out, the courage that's building on their side. It's going to require something from you too. And that thing is openness, not naivety. Not throwing your walls down entirely, just openness, the willingness to let something in, to not immediately close down when something good approaches. Because I feel, and this comes through very clearly, that your protective instincts might kick in when this happens. That the part of you that got hurt might try to shut the door before you've even had a chance to see what's on the other side. Don't let it, okay? Just don't let it. Let yourself receive this one. Let yourself actually feel what comes through without immediately analyzing it to death. Because some things deserve to be felt before they're understood. And this is one of them. This is one of them. Have you been protecting yourself so much that good things are having trouble getting through? Think about that. Seriously, think about that. And drop a comment if that lands for you. Because I feel that energy so strongly right now. Okay, Virgo. I'm going to leave this here because I think this is the part you needed to hear today. Someone is thinking about you right now. Someone finds you more attractive than you know. Someone is looking for ways to reach you. Someone is imagining a life with you. Someone is working up the courage to say what they've been holding for too long. And you are more magnetic, more beautiful, more worthy of that kind of devotion than you have been allowing yourself to believe. That's the message. That's what I needed to say. Sit with that. Let it land. And pay attention to what shows up in the coming days, because I don't think you'll be waiting long. Take care of yourself, Virgo. You deserve everything that's coming.